Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode number 46. This is the week of Monday, February. The week of Monday?
Dude,
the week of February 20th.
You get one intro correct.
No.
Okay.
It is Monday, February 20th, as we record this podcast, which will be up later tonight. So, congratulations.
Yay.
Yay for podcasting and actually posting it on the day it's recorded.
Are you making a jab at the Infinite Long Box?
No. Why?
Because apparently they just got their last episode up.
Oh, really? Are they Charlie's lagging?
He's lagging.
Dang, man.
Uh-oh.
This is why I just go for the no editing.
Just raw.
Raw.
I don't think they edit either.
Really?
I don't think so.
I thought they did.
Really?
I thought Charlie told me he did. So
What are they editing?
I don't know.
The long
It's not like
pauses.
Charlie swears.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm Ryan Higgins. This is
Brock Sager.
and this is,
Toby.
and we are here to talk about some comic book stuff this week.
Yay.
We've been slacking on emails, so I'm going to start. We got a couple emails.
We slack on emails like all the time.
I mean,
It's like 2-3 weeks, no
Sometime-
emails, and then we do them.
yeah. Sometimes we don't get a lot. So this is from Julian. It's kind of a two-parter here. I'll read the whole thing now. It says, "Hey, conspirators! I was talking to Brock on Twitter. People should totally follow him. That's
Thank you.
at Brock Sager. We ended up talking about how Marvel has fallen behind. Since I came back to comics, it's almost all DC, with only the new Ultimate Spidey and Wolverine and the X-Men attracted my interest on the Marvel side. So that got me wondering, what does Marvel need to do to win you back? Is there anything they could do at this point, or have you guys just moved on?" It's actually a second question that, for me at least, ties in with the first question.
Yeah.
Also, I heard that Moon Knight got the axe again. Marvel seems to give some of their B-list multiple chances at ongoing series, such as Moon Knight, Iron Fist, and even Sleepwalker. So why did Darkhawk only get one shot? I know Ryan's a fan, as am I, and Toby's a fan as well.
Hell yeah.
Toby's a big fan of Darkhawk.
Hell yeah.
It always seemed odd to me that he got buried in time, especially because he was on track to become the Marvel version of Green Lantern. Anyway, keep up the good work, as always. To me, it's funny because that's sort of the second part kind of answers the first part a little bit. I am not at heart a big fan of most of the Marvel characters. Now, I like them, but I'm just generally not a fan of Spider-Man or the X-Men as I am of, Batman or Green Lantern or Flash.
The Justice League.
Or, right, the Justice League in general. I think at this point I am just more interested in the DC characters. Now, when Marvel has, when Marvel has good writers like Ed Brubaker on a title, I will follow him on just about anything he does. I could give a crap about Captain America generally, but I've been reading Cap for years now because of Ed Brubaker. If he left, would I continue reading? It would depend who took over, really, and depend on how much I was still into it. But, in the case of Daredevil, again, a character I followed for years and years because I really like the character almost regardless of writer. I should actually pick up all this Mark Waid stuff because it's really good. I just kind of got out of it. But,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the characters I really like at Marvel are some of these more lower, weird, obscure characters. Darkhawk did actually have a pretty important role in Realm of Kings, War of Kings, one of the big Annihilation books. So he has been back. And I bought all those books, and those books were all fantastic.
Yeah.
So, that was the Annihilation books were my favorite books for a long time. It was Nova, Darkhawk, Quasar, the Guardians of the
That shit was
Galaxy.
awesome.
Like, yes, this is awesome. So,
Then they got rid of Guardians of the Galaxy.
and Nova.
And Nova.
No.
Yeah, and now it's all gone. The Annihilation stuff's over now.
Yeah.
I mean, they may do more, but
Yeah, I don't. It's one of those things where what would get me back into Marvel, and I don't know. I mean, it's writer would be something that would bring me back in.
right. I mean, if Jeff Johns or Grant Morrison worked for Marvel tomorrow, I'd be picking up a lot more Marvel books. It's just probably not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, title wise, it's like with Daredevil, you said it's. I got into Daredevil because Brubaker was writing, and I was really enjoying his Brubaker stuff on Daredevil, and then Shadowland happened.
Yeah.
And it was horrible and abysmal, but that wasn't Brubaker. That was Andy Diggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loser guy. No, isn't it? It's the losers guy, right?
Yeah.
the loser
Andy
guy, yeah.
Dougal.
Yeah.
From the
Sorry, I
Losers.
thought you said the loser.
No, I didn't mean it like that. It's the losers
All right.
Yeah.
all right.
guy, not a loser guy, a losers. Okay, that didn't sound right either.
no.
Never mind. I give up.
But and then Wade coming back on Daredevil, I really wasn't interested.
Right.
Especially since Daredevil, was it Daredevil, Punisher, Moon Knight, and who else was being
Those are the three.
Those were being the renumbered
Yeah. They came out
ones
together.
that came out together, and then Marvel went and renumbered again with the Uncanny X-Men.
All right.
And then releasing the Wolverine and the X-Men. And I've always liked X-Men and the Wolverine characters, but they really haven't done anything story-wise for me in a while. It's like they've been stagnant. They're waiting at Utopia in San Francisco for something to happen, and Schism was supposed to be this big thing that happened. It didn't.
Yeah, I mean, The Avengers has been one of my favorite books, and it's funny because I said I'm not a big fan of Captain America, and that's true. I'm normally not a big fan of Cap solo, but with the Avengers, I've always liked that team. But what Bendis has done with the Avengers has kind of this. It's like
no longer the Avengers.
This 10-year taint on the series, and it's kind of hard to get over. When it's funny, when it comes to DC, I'm actually not that big of a fan of Superman and Batman. But if you look on the creative teams, especially Batman, he's had for the last decade, just amazing creative team after amazing creative team on like across the board on the Batman titles. Much like Toby, my interest in the Batman universe is Nightwing and Robin, the Birds of Prey, and Catwoman and Harley Quinn, and really everyone outside of Batman.
Yeah.
But I can't turn down Grant Morrison and Scott Snyder, and even the Judd Winnick stuff is really good, and Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb. Who else?
Was it John Ostrander, the Suicide Squad guy, did a run on Batman?
He did like a real short run, yeah. So I mean,
and then Paul Dini was doing
Paul
Detective
Dini
for
did
a little
Detective
while.
for a long time. I mean, just fantastic creative team. It's a fantastic creative team for years on the Batman title. So at this point, it's like I guess I am a big Batman fan because. Yeah, I don't know what it would take to get me to stop buying him now. So.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I think just also, I mean, with the way everything's going with the economy and all that stuff, I mean, it's a topic that's brought up all the time. Marvel books are more expensive.
Yeah, and it's funny about the Marvel books being more expensive. A lot of people I don't think a lot of people realize that they're double shipping the titles now.
Yeah.
So Marvel is putting out all their top titles twice a month. So if you thought $4 was expensive, you're now paying $8 because it's shipping twice a month, at least. Venom, Hulk, they're doing some of these books 4 or 5 times a month. They did Venom 5 issues this month. And it's not
like
a top
weekly book at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's these little every month events. So yeah, I mean, I'm not hating on Marvel the way Brock has been, and in the recent podcasts, I actually find myself reading and enjoying more Marvel books than I have in a while. But with the space in my collection and the amount of money that I have to spend, I spend most of my money on the DC titles. So,
cool. And I've noticed I started to spend more money on taking chances with independent titles.
Yeah, Image has had a huge run of good books in the last few weeks. Thief of Thieves,
that one was awesome.
Glory was pretty cool. What the heck was the other one? Prophet. Panzer. I can't remember
the Panzer one.
I totally don't have the book in front of me, so I don't remember what it's called. But that's supposed to be
you sold
really
out
good.
of that. Right?
I sold out of that real quick. I got a bunch more of those coming. So yeah, I mean, Image had just a great run of books, and yeah, I mean, there's support to those guys.
It's also one of those things where it seems like talking about like writers. I mean, I actually stopped picking up the Captain America regular series, even though Brubaker was writing it, because to me it just became stagnant. And then with the last cover I saw, it's like, oh, he's not super anymore. I'm like, didn't I just read this in Steve Rogers' Super Soldier? The mini that came out like a year and a half ago? Where he loses his power again and becomes So to me, it's one of those things where it's like the story's being rehashed to, and it's not engaging anymore. But I picked up Winter Soldier, and I've really enjoyed Winter Soldier. That's been a good title, and Brubaker, has done it well, and they kept it at $2.99. But that one's double shipping every month. So
yeah, they're shipping most of them now.
Now it's like, ooh, I spent $3, but now I'm going to spend $6 a month to get it. So
they need to be careful of that. It's going to burn out the creative teams as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So hopefully that answered most of Julian's question. Brock, you got an email?
Yes, I have an email. So this is from Andrew. He says, "Hey, love the show. Was just wondering, being a guy who has been reading Marvel for a long time, what's the best way to start reading some of the DC comics like Batman, Green Lantern?
It's like the perfect time for him to come in.
Or any other great DC characters?" Well, Andrew, it's the Batman and Green Lantern are a little difficult because those especially stories carried over.
The correct answer is go to conspiratorbrock.com, which is Brock's website, where he's reposted.
Well, I haven't done a Batman one yet.
No, but you've reposted DC's list of all the new trades coming out. And so they're starting the trade paperbacks in May of all the New 52 books, the New 52 being DC's kind of relaunched series. Even with Green Lantern and Batman, even though some of the stuff is carried over, just start with this stuff. Don't go back. If you really get into it, then ask us and go back. But pick up the first few volumes pick up the first volume of a bunch of these books. You can go get that $150 New 52 number 1 hardcover. Has all the number 1 issues, just a trial. You can get on, Comixology and download from digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. You can download the first issues cheap now. They're like $1.99 each for most of them now. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
check out
with the Green Lantern, it's easy. You just go to Rebirth. It's kind of the pinpoint,
Well, Rebirth is a little weird. I tried Rebirth and it was jarring because it had the Spectre in it and all this stuff that had to be resolved from the older stuff.
Green Lantern Rebirth is the crazy continuity that you just need to accept.
Yeah.
But then No Fear, which is the first arc of the new stuff, that's No Fear or Secret Origin is kind of where you want to start. If you don't know the character.
Yeah, if you want to do Green Lantern, I would highly suggest starting Johns' run and just go through there. You can start with the New 52. If you like it, go back. Batman.
He's going through John's run. He's going to have a lot of fun with it.
Oh, yeah. That John's run's great. Batman.
Everyone knows Batman.
Yeah,
pick up Black Mirror.
Pick up Black Mirror.
The start of Scott Snyder's Detective Comics run, which has now gone into then Gates of Gotham, which is a 4-issue mini, and then now into his run on Batman, which is the Court of Owls arc. That's all you need to do. Don't even worry about the old stuff. If you haven't read much or haven't read any Batman stuff before, just start there. You'll be up to speed.
Yeah, Detective and Batman will be fine to start with. If you really like it, you can explore other stuff from prior. From the before 52. But yeah, other than that, start try out I would highly suggest Animal Man, Swamp Thing, B characters. I mean, I've really enjoyed the Demon Knights, even though I wasn't really wanting to read it.
Well, obviously,
initially,
I really want to start reading All-Star Western. I've been seeing some sketches.
Oh, that's great. It's awesome.
I've been seeing a lot of sketches that I'm really I'm kind of digging this stuff. So I think I have to give All-Star Western a shot at this point.
Well, going back to what the previous email was saying, characters like Moon Knight and Darkhawk and the Marvel B and C-list characters, DC, as we mentioned many times here, has done such a phenomenal job with all their B and C-list characters. Well, most of them.
Yeah.
In the New 52. And, things like Animal Man and Swamp Thing are the absolute best places to start.
Yeah, but, I don't know. I really enjoyed DC Comics Presents. It's a good way to kind of get a spattering of characters.
Yeah, you didn't like the new arc, huh?
It wasn't
Challengers.
The Challengers. I think it harkened back to a lot of the to when Brave and the last incarnation of Brave and the Bold started to wane
after J. Michael Straczynski left.
Yeah, after Straczynski left and after Wade, kind of conked out. So it to me it didn't really fit, and it was confusing as all shit of what was going on. So I'm not going to be picking that one up. I'll pick it up in the next incarnation of whoever's popping up next. Do we even know who's popping up next?
Yeah, they've announced, and I think James Robinson's writing it, but I'm blanking as to who it is. Oh, I think it's Vandal Savage.
Oh, nice.
I think it's a Vandal Savage story.
Nice.
So, yeah. All right, got one more email here. It's from Kenzo, a long-time forum poster. Kenzo. He writes, I just stumbled upon this, and he links to the Bleeding Cool's article on the Doctor Who Star Trek crossover.
Yeah.
He says, I don't know crap about the people making this, so this news actually merit the load I just released in my pants. Well, we don't know much about these guys either, I don't think, but I would say a Doctor Who Star Trek Next Generation crossover is indeed something to be happy for. So Bleeding Cool.
You didn't jizz in your pants when you heard that news?
I was excited. Last week, Bleeding Cool got some kind of what they do best and dug up some upcoming info on some books. And there is a Doctor Who Star Trek Next Generation crossover featuring the Borg and the Cybermen as the villains, which should be awesome.
There should be a Borg Cyberman.
I'm sure that's what it's going to end up with. So
Borg Cyberman.
Yeah,
I don't.
The Borg assimilated the Cybermen. Oh,
IDW talked about it a week or two ago. That Star Trek Legion Superheroes crossover, which I thought has been really fun.
Oh, are you caught up with it?
I didn't read this. What is it, up to 5 now? I haven't read 5 yet.
I think it's either 4 or 5.
No, I think 5 is the most recent because there's one more. I've only read through 4, so I haven't read the most recent.
Oh, the last issue is so good.
This one's written by Scott and David Tipton, who have done various Star Trek comics as well as some of the IDW Infestation stuff. It's art by J.K. Woodward, who did some artwork on Fallen Angel and Peter David's book. I don't know any of these guys personally or anything. I don't know how their writing is or artwork is, but I like the picture that they show here.
Yeah.
It's the Cybermen and The Borg versus Doctor Who and the Next Gen crew.
Picard.
So this is going to be badass. It should have been the Doctor versus Q, though. That would have been such a great...
There might have been a sequel. There might be a sequel.
Maybe. Just bring in Q later.
That would be pretty darn cool.
Yeah. So...
yeah. So we're in it's a 5...
They can't.
Sure, it's Star Trek and Doctor Who. You don't care, so that's fine.
No, you just... I can't.
You can't what?
I can't. I'd spoil issue 5 for you.
What of Star Trek and Legion? Is Q in it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Q's in the Star Trek universe, so yeah, you don't see Q in the TOS stuff that often, but still, no, I'm super excited for this. So I don't really buy too many of the Star Trek comics, but this I may have to change my mind. I'm not even up to the current Doctor stuff on TV. I'm actually still watching Torchwood, so I'm not even up to this stuff. So I know I'm still so far behind.
Oh man,
I know.
Did you at least make it to Children of Earth yet?
No, I'm only on season 1.
It will blow your mind.
I'm only on season 1 of Torchwood.
It will blow your mind.
I'm doing I did the first 2 seasons of the Doctor Who. Now season 1 of Torchwood.
You're doing it in the order.
Season 3, and I'm gonna go through them that way. So.
Man, your heart is going to be so broken by the time David Tennant leaves the show, man.
That's what I've heard. So I'm bad at marathoning shows. I can never get through more than 1 or 2 episodes at a time.
Once you get to the Children of Earth, though, I think you're going to be just up all night watching it straight through.
Well, that's 4 or 5 episodes, right? Yeah.
It's just 5, but it's one of those where you go, holy shit.
Yeah.
Then you watch another one, you go, holy more shit.
No,
you watch another one.
Are these 45-minute episodes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I can see how it gets difficult because Smallville. I mean, getting through 3 episodes was great, but I start pushing that 4 or 5 mark, I'd be like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I never have time. Ryan's been hassling me to Ryan Scott from the Geekbox. So I guess we're going to start talking. What the heck is it? Sherlock. On the podcast.
That's another Moffat show, isn't it?
Yeah, so I got to go home tonight, put the podcast up, and watch the first episode of Sherlock so we can talk about it.
And he did this original screenplay from Tintin.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yep.
He's been doing quite a few things lately.
Yep. It's good stuff.
I'm still... I'll watch it as soon as Ryan gets it to me.
All right. Not too much to talk about this week, but there's a few things. One cool piece of news that came out of MegaCon, which was this last weekend in Florida, is that so we all know that Jeff Johns and Jim Lee are going to be doing some of the story and art in the DC Free Comic Book Day book this year.
Awesome.
And it's going to be, I guess a kind of like the story of Pandora, who's the girl in the purple hoodie.
Oh, Brock just jizzed in his pants.
Yeah, no, I jizzed in my pants earlier.
Well, it's also Kenneth Rocafort and Gene Ha are going to be doing some of the art as well.
Oh, Rocafort, yes.
Yeah. So it should be should be a good book, and I know Jim Lee's doing this 4-page fold out.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's gonna be
well. They did
cool.
a great job with that DC Universe Zero a few years ago.
Yep.
That was kind of just a little snippet of what's to come, and it was really, really good.
Yep.
And then they did the War of the Supermen the year after that, which was it was a Zero, it was okay.
Yeah.
And then they did the Green Lantern, which
that was just a reprint, but this is going to be huge.
Yeah.
This is going to be great.
Well, that one was a reprint. The Blackest Night wasn't. That was Blackest Night Zero.
That was
free comic.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to it. More Pandora. We gotta see because she appears this next week in Justice League, supposedly.
Oh, and number 5.
She's supposed to pop up in number 6.
I mean, yeah.
So we'll see.
Could be cool.
Who's the hooded chick?
Don't know.
Bum, bum, bum.
We'll find out. But
it's gonna be Donna Troy, and we're gonna bring you all back to the original universe.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because there's that Earth 2 comic that's coming out, and I
don't know what to make out of that. What do you think?
Well, that cover, for those that haven't seen it, it's a very kind of who's doing it? It's Ivan Rice, right? He did the cover.
Was it Ivan?
I think so.
I didn't see the cover.
It's possible. It could be Ivan. Yeah.
Because I think it's a variant cover that they showed. So I don't think we've seen the official cover.
Oh, really?
Yet.
Okay.
But it looks like I took it to look like a Connor Kent Superman, a Dick Grayson Batman, and Donna Troy Wonder Woman.
That's what it looks like. Yeah. I mean, that's who it is. I mean, they already said it, right? Didn't
have
already?
they?
I thought they already said it.
I don't.
Oh no, I thought they already announced it.
Did they
No,
say?
Yeah.
no, they haven't announced it because
No, I thought so.
they were still questioning Wally West and Donna Troy and all that, and they're
Well, that was a MegaCon. I guess
that
they
was
were
the-
talking
yeah, it
about
was,
it. but-
No. I thought they flat out said it. That was Dick Grayson and Donna Troy is Wonder Woman and Earth 2 and stuff like that. I could have sworn I read an article on that.
I mean, it's possible. I didn't see it if they did, but yeah, I'll have to double check. But no.
I was well, I could be wrong, but I was fairly certain I read that was Donna Troy as Wonder Woman from Earth 2. Is
And, like
basically-
DC said this.
Well, I have it in front of me now, but I could have sworn I read something about that. I mean, who knows?
we'll find-
I mean, internets, but it was
Sure,
one of the sites we follow is either Newsarama, Comic Book Art, whatever.
Yeah,
And Bleeding News or whatever. It's one of those three.
comic book art, bleeding news,
Yeah, Comic Book Art, Bleeding News,
comic book resources,
and
Bleeding
Newsarama.
Cool. Yeah, there you go.
comic book alliance resource.
Bleeding Rama.
I'll take a look.
Alliance.
I'll see if I can figure it out. So,
Bleeding Comics resource.
no, I assume that's what I'm assuming. The Earth 2
I-
is like the JLA grew up and this happened.
Yeah, I seriously thought they already announced it's them, but yeah.
Well, I don't read the Teen Titans book, but the Teen Titans book is who's in that main?
It's Connor, Tim, is her name Cassandra? The Wonder Girl, the blonde Wonder Girl? It's not Donna, it's the younger
yeah,
one.
the Cassandra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassandra.
And then there's a couple new guys on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's the younger.
I don't know
It's
why
not
they would-
the Teen Titans. It's the next generation. It's the Jeff Johns Teen Titans people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's that second generation Teen
Minus Wally.
Yeah. Well, it's Bart, I think. Whatever his
Bart?
name. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah,
the younger one,
Flash's-
Impulse.
Flash's
Yeah.
Impulse.
Yeah.
I know they said that one of the things they did say at WonderCon or at MegaCon this weekend was that one of the reasons they didn't bring Wally in initially, Wally West Flash, was that Barry Allen has been, like all the characters, have been de-aged, basically to the age that Wally probably should be. And that they have Kid Flash now as Bart Allen.
Yeah.
So Wally's sort of like, we sort of.
Well,
He's in that-
Wally developed. I mean, his character developed. He moved through. He had kids. He had a relationship.
They forced that crap through at the end. That stuff is bad.
Don't get me wrong. I know it is, but it's one of those things where they took that character and gave him all this stuff. So bringing him back in with that stuff or without that stuff would be kind of complicated, especially
Right.
this. Like you said, it's doubling up on a Flash of this age.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
see.
see. No, I think the only thing they said about Earth 2 was that guys like Jay Garrick and Alan Scott were going to be in there, like the original guys. But I don't know if they said Donna. No, I don't think they've announced anything officially
Really?
yet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where I read it, but it's one of those sites. It's the only sites I go to. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll.
Or is it in the solicits? It's not in the solicits already, right?
Not yet. No.
Okay. I swear, I thought I read it, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, we will figure it out.
Which, I don't know what to think. If it's true, I don't even know what to think of it, because it kind of messes with my head. I'm like, no.
Well, you know what?
I need to see some psychiatrist at this point.
I actually, this is a cool thing to talk about because the concern that a lot of people had was that, the DC universe is kind of confusing and all this stuff. But bringing in the multiverse and doing this is, it is kind of confusing for people that don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I like the DC's doing it personally because I love this stuff.
Yeah.
But I wonder how more casual fans will react, or if this is kind of a counter to that. A week or two ago they released the info on this. They had the Nielsen report of who's reading DC Comics.
Oh, yeah,
who's reading the New 52.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what everyone figured. It's like 95% men, and it's it's current fans, and sure, of course. So I mean, that's no duh.
Yeah,
that's who's going to read it. This isn't bringing in new people so much as multiple lapsed people. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of interesting to see if they're thinking, hey, well, maybe we can have the more new, casual, friendly stuff, but we can also have the deeper, continuity-driven, and do a mesh of both.
Well, the thing is there's no reason for them not to be able to do it. I mean, it's Earth 2. Earth 2 and Earth 1 and Earth 4 and Earth 700 don't need to cross at any point in time.
Yeah,
I mean, reading Huntress right now, that Huntress is Earth 2.
I think they're on regular Earth. So it's Huntress and Power Girl. Power Girl was in Mr. Miracle. Or Mr. Terrific, sorry. And so they're going to be traveling back to Earth 2, but they're on the regular DC Earth. So.
But that's the thing is if you're connecting it with two characters that you're sending there, and those characters are the like kind of anchors for that universe. Because it was always odd that Power Girl came here and had to go back. You know, you're bringing in a character, and then they want to go back, where it's more of you send a character out in this point, you know, they want to come back.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It looks interesting. I mean, a lot of that stuff that's coming out in the second wave looks really, really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That should be good stuff. Well, we'll talk about it as it gets closer, when it actually starts coming out. So. Well, there was not a lot of comic stuff to talk about this week, but there was some film stuff related to comics. We didn't talk about one of these things last week, which was the premiere of Comic Book Men. And I did see Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance last night. Real quick, I'll talk about that, since I know you two haven't seen it yet. No spoilers, but it's a fucking Ghost Rider movie. I don't know how deep you can get.
Is it as bad as the Spirit of Vengeance story back in the 90s?
Hey, man, I like that stuff. So with like Darkholm and like the crossover with what was Vengeance? Was that the other Ghost Rider guy? Like the really evil Ghost Rider guy?
I don't know. I never read that crap.
Yeah, I remember that. And with was it Johnny? Wasn't like Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider like two different people?
I think so.
Yeah, he was like helping him out because it was Danny Ketch who's actually in this movie, but totally not Ghost Rider. It's weird. So. This is Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance. Toby, you know not personally, but you know the directors. Who are these guys?
Yeah, those guys are nuts.
Mark,
I kind of love it.
Neville Dean and Brian Taylor.
Yeah.
These guys have done...
These are the guys, the reason why... They're the reason why I really wanted to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Not because of Ghost Rider, not because it could have been... It's kind of like you and Brubaker about Captain America.
Sure.
It's not about what it is. Just these two directors are completely nuts. So go film on rollerblades and jump off cliffs with
I was going to say
rings attached to them. That's awesome.
I was going to say, tell us about these guys, because you've read up on these guys and you've seen these guys like documentaries and stuff.
Yeah,
what's this guy's deal?
They came. I want to say the LA Film School. They're just like new school guys. I mean, they love the digital medium. They're just like a new take on filmmaking. They respect the old, but they kind of go, all right, let's take it from here and see what we can do. And they're just a little nuts, and you kind of gotta love it. They're kind of like, let me do this, let me see what I can do, and let me see how I can do this differently. And they're really good. They're a good team, because usually you don't have two directors on it, and they know each other so well that the one guy would direct like a couple days, and then the other guy would go in, and it's a really good tandem, because the one director could just concentrate on directing, while if the actors have questions or the crew have questions, the other director will just answer those questions and say flip off on each other. Or they start a scene somewhere and they continue shooting somewhere else, like the same scene, dude is running this way, they'll just continue shooting on the other end. It's the other director with the camera. They're just... I want to say I don't know if they used the term yet, but I want to say they're from the school of Robert Rodriguez, even though I think they came just a little after, so that they're probably not as influenced by Robert Rodriguez. But
right.
But it's just that new school of filmmaking, and I'm really up for that. And I like the fact that they're out there, they want to be in there, they want to jump off of cliffs just like everybody else. I was like, hey, I'm the camera guy, I'll just do it anyways, So
yeah.
You gotta respect that. So I'm really looking forward to any film that they'll make.
Well, there was a ton of shots in this movie where it's like the guys, the camera crew are, right along with the trucks. It didn't look heavily green screened in CGI.
Yeah.
And I think part of that, well, we'll go into this for a little bit, but so, for people that don't know, Ghost Rider came out a couple years ago with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Pretty forgettable, but whatever.
Pretty bad.
It made a few bucks. This one came out. Sure, yeah. These movies always make a little bit of money, and that's nothing has to be a $250 million box office. I
have to say though, that was a pretty darn bad movie, though.
Yeah. Well, this one has the Jean-Claude Van Damme direct to DVD, entirely Eastern Bloc, former USSR. Filmed area, no named actors except in this case Nicolas Cage, right?
What? Idris Elba.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh my god!
Who I'm looking at.
He's on the Losers. He was on The Wire. He has a big BBC show right now.
Well, okay, I don't even who the heck was this in the movie.
He was the black dude on the motorcycle.
Oh, the French guy.
He could have been French. He's British in real life.
Well, yeah, he's French in the movie. Quote unquote.
Okay.
So, well, not many named actors. Let's put it that way. You know, those Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. It's like Jean-Claude Van Damme and a bunch of guys. Right?
It's like Universal Soldier in the former USSR.
Sure.
And that's the title of the movie.
So, yeah, I mean, they specifically set this like halfway across the world, and you could tell, like, I'm sure, I mean, and it was filmed, like, it was run by, like, the guy, like, some company from Abu Dhabi. Like, it's all in the credits and stuff. So, like,
they probably got some money from them. That's the only way they probably made that movie.
Right, so, I mean, they didn't film this.
The regular studio probably didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore.
They didn't film this in the U.S. They took this overseas and went and filmed this for $5 in some backyard in freaking Abu Dhabi, and they're like, we're done. Like, this is the movie. Like, here you go. These are your sets. Have fun. But, I mean, it's kind of weird, though, because it was hilarious. I don't know if it was on purpose, but me and my buddy Jeff that went to go see it, like, we were laughing the whole time. And maybe you were supposed to, maybe not. I don't know. But it's because it's like Evil Dead 2, Sam Raimi, like, ridiculous and over the top.
Chopped off hand gives you the middle finger funny.
Like, just Nicolas Cage is just retarded through this whole movie, and he's just like got the Ghost Rider thing, like trying to take him over, and he's flipping out. And if you remember Evil Dead 2, you never saw Evil. Doesn't seem like something you ever saw, is it? You ever watch Evil Dead?
Did I just mention the chopped off hand?
Sure,
you the bird.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like a movie you would have watched, though.
I've seen Evil Dead. I've seen Evil Dead 2. I've seen Army of Darkness.
Okay, well,
yeah, because Brock's usual movies is The Wow and
the whole time, when Ash is in the house and like all the furniture's laughing at him and stuff like that, like the whole like half the movie felt like that scene.
Well, Evil Dead 2, I mean, just that movie's shit crazy.
Yeah.
It's just acid trip.
So I mean, there are some slower parts in this, but it's just Nicolas Cage being just ridiculous.
Now, is the bike cool?
The bike's pretty cool, and Ghost Rider himself is pretty cool. I mean, the effects look nice. He's not in a ton of it, but they do a good job with it.
I think it looks better in the first movie just from the trailers alone.
It looks better than the first movie, or in the first movie?
I think the second one looks a lot better.
We should rewatch the first movie. You should rewatch the first movie.
There's one thing I won't do. It's not. I'm sorry. It's no way. I bought it. I own it.
Well, it's either that or watch Elektra again.
No, neither of those. No way. I can't. No.
Yeah.
Neither of those two. I can't. Yeah.
But
I own them both. I'll be honest. I own them both. And I even own the director's cut of Elektra, but it's still sealed.
I bet they kind of just went to Nicolas Cage and like, just do whatever. Like, we don't care. Like,
it's quite possible. Did you see that little featurette where they're like, "We got Nick Cage, it's awesome," and you don't quite know if they're making fun of that statement or if they're like just having, if they're really thinking.
They very well could have been, because like I swear this will go down as like some sort of like cult movie. just don't go to this expecting like a superhero movie. Just go for the ridiculousness. But then I think, is it rated PG-13 or something?
Yeah, it's rated PG-13.
Yeah, see, that's weird, because it almost felt like the violence, like they should have cranked up that violence. Because
So it's like a real cult movie, basically.
Yeah, because at that point, when they kill people, they just sort of like disappear into ash, and it's kind of like they don't really like. I wanted to see crazy stuff.
I wonder if they make this movie also for 13-year-olds. They're like, we'll go and buy it and hide it from the parents and like watch it on their own and tell all their friends about it.
Because it is. I mean, I could see if I saw this movie and I was like 12 years old, I would have been like, that was weird as hell. Because the people that were there, I don't know. Me and Jeff, we were laughing our asses off through the whole movie. And, I don't do that normally, but I couldn't help it because it was just so goddamn weird.
There's probably a bunch of teenagers going, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Well, why are they laughing, freaking old fogies?
Well, it was so weird because it's just such a funny movie. And, I was not, maybe I just wasn't expecting it. Maybe if you go in thinking that, it won't be that funny.
Yeah.
But really, Nicolas Cage is just, yeah.
Spirit of Silly?
Oh, God, it's crazy. Oh, and a very totally random cameo by Christopher Lambert, and that's how you know it's a that's how you know it's
awesome.
That's how you know it's a shitty movie filmed in the middle of nowhere, because Highlander himself, Christopher Lambert's in it. So,
does he play a key role?
Kinda, yeah.
He's God.
He plays.
I'm kidding.
So the plot of the movie is that, I mean, no, again, not that you can really spoil this type of stuff, but there's this kid, Danny, who I'm assuming is supposed to be Danny Ketch, the guy from the comics, is basically born of the devil, the same guy that made Nicolas Cage Ghost, made Johnny Cage, Johnny Cage. Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider. Now then, like, I need to have a kid, and I need to put my essence into this kid so I can continue my bloodline and all that stuff. And so, Ghost Rider's trying to stop the devil and save the kid and all that stuff. But yeah, it
is the kid born of it, or is the kid born to be a vessel?
He's born to be a vessel.
Okay,
but then he has powers as well. So
I kind of like where this is all going. Just wait. There's going to be a third Ghost Rider movie. It's going to be even worse.
Well, they could.
It's going to be. It's going to be like. It's going to be even crazier. It's going to be even more out there. Well, it's going to go worse and worse and worse.
They could take this kid to be like 10 years later. Hell, they totally should do this. Be like 15 because the kid's like 10 or 15. He's like 10 years old, I think.
Okay.
So be like 15 years later, the devil has taken over the world.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
The world
like
is
even another year movie than what we got right now.
Right, hell on earth is total wasteland. Danny Cash has grown up, and now he is the Ghost Rider, and now he's out there just doing crazy crap. Like, go for it, because this movie's the first one was pretty bad. This one, at least,
you laughed. All the way
I
through?
Laughed. It was worth seeing just for the total,
just for the calories you burn laughing.
Just the total craziness of it. Yeah, because there's a couple scenes where it's hard not to laugh. So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
that's too bad I didn't make it.
Yeah, I'll watch it next week.
I just think it's worth watching. But there was something that I did not laugh at.
What?
And that was Comic Book Men.
Last
week. So let's just go.
I actually forgot. There's a new one last night, wasn't there?
Yeah, I TiVo'd it. So
I mean, there's only 6 episodes. I think I'll watch them all. But yeah, it went off to a wrong start, I believe.
Now,
I do want to start. Hold on, I do want to start this real quick. I'm staring at the IMDb page.
Yeah,
this says the first 2 words, an unscripted. Well, that's obviously
awesome.
A lie.
They probably just went and shot.
Right?
Why not? It could be true. On the Ghost Rider.
No, Comic Book Man.
I thought you were still on. Yeah, I was like, that'd be funny as hell if those 2 nutty directors get.
There's nothing that's unscripted except for YouTube videos.
Let's just go shoot some shit, and they were like, "How about you jump off the bridge and just shoot it? Somehow we gotta make it all work." That would have been hilarious.
That would be.
I actually really want them to make a documentary on those 2 guys.
Well, that's actually it's funny because that's all the rumors for the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah,
it was basically no script.
Huh.
That they just went out and they knew the story, but they filmed a lot of that.
I just rewatched it just like 2 nights ago. The first one. I've been rewatching all the Marvel stuff. I rewatched Thor. I actually liked it better the second time around.
I still need to get my copy of that.
I rewatched The Incredible Hulk, which I think is an amazing movie. That I watched it again. I was like, I liked it the first time around, but now I do not care for the Hulk.
Yeah.
But man, did I care in that movie. So on that fact alone, I
liked Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I really got to give him props. And then, Captain America was cool. And I'm liking him a little better the second time around now.
Nice.
I only got Iron Man 2 to rewatch.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm putting that off.
But for Comic Book Men here, so this is Kevin Smith's, he has a store, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. It's in Red Bank, New Jersey. And, is that where it is, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Red Bank, New Jersey. And so this is a live-action TV show based around the podcast he does, the Smodcast, as well as the store, and sort of this Pawn Star style.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, everyone was talking about it last week. Everyone's already seen episode 2, so we're kind of, we've recorded on a weird night last week. But I still figure it's worth talking about. I didn't actually hate it when I was watching it, but after I watched it, and the more I kind of thought about it, I'm pretty much not a fan. I think. Again, that whole an unscripted. Well, that's bullshit.
Well, no, I actually think it's true. No, I actually do think it's true. And the reason why I say this, and this is what I guess is the way they made it, is they just started filming in the shop. It's like you were to film here. Just start filming like every Wednesday or something like that. Then the editor goes in and picks anything that's interesting or weird. Picks those out, hands Kevin Smith this is the things you should be talking about.
Well,
and then he goes and talks about it on the podcast, and that's how they edit everything together.
Well, no, because I do remember there was like a casting call, quote unquote, that said we will be filming in the store. Bring your stuff down to sell
Yeah, but they supposedly they changed all that because it's when we first talked about it, there was an article about Jill Pantuzzi say one of her girls got hired on to be in it. She's actually in the pilot, and they cut her out completely. Right. So they changed a lot of this stuff on the show. They revamped it. Yeah.
The thing is when it says unscripted, it's not. Everything's scripted to a point. You can have kind of a general script of we want you to do this.
Yeah, I mean that's the MTV thing. They're always going to try and push people to do certain
TV
things.
Shows are scripted to some point. They're maybe unscripted in a sense for dialogue, so they, it's like you have to come up with your own shit. Yeah. Which is,
they could always be directed. They don't have to be scripted. They could be directed.
Yeah.
But so there's the first episode. Like, we haven't seen the second one yet. Yeah. But the first episode, they're going around, and it's like half of it's about them trying to go off and do this sales competition of all this garbage they got laying around the store at some flea market, and the second half was them in the store buying knickknacks off these people.
Which is like bizarre. It's like they don't really sell crap. Like they buy all kinds of stuff and then they go sell it for dirt cheap. It's like, oh, good business model, guys.
Well, this was sort of my issue with it. What I came out of it after I thought about it for a while is the amount of comic book stuff they actually dealt with was pretty minor when they were going to buy that stuff back. And it just makes it look like a pawn shop.
Yeah.
A pawn shop is a pawn shop. That's fine. A comic book shop is not a pawn shop. No store is going to buy your freaking used Chucky doll.
Well, the funny thing is, I think I tweeted you right away after watching. I'm like, great. Now everybody's going to come in the store and trying to sell us their shit.
I know.
I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a lot. We never heard him say no, barely. Or was it like one guy that he said no? I think they didn't say no.
Well, they didn't say no, but the people
people would say no to them.
Well, right. The prices they were throwing around was kind of like dumb. Like it just was, the whole thing just seemed, and it just seemed bad.
Forced?
Well, like one of the things that someone pointed out, which I didn't even think about when I was watching it, but I thought about it afterwards, was why don't they show people buying stuff? Why don't they film there on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
And show the actual
there was
audience?
no regular people in it. Those guys are not regulars in there, obviously.
Yeah,
and the guy coming with the chain thing,
So stupid.
Yeah. Those guys exist, those
Oh, I'm sure.
The thing is from what everyone said, because I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't get cable, and two, whatever.
Miss much.
But yeah, it sounds exactly like Pawn Stars or the Storage Wars or the American Pickers or whatever, where they're buying a whole bunch of shit or getting, you're seeing all these weird people and the knick-knack stuff that they have. But then you said there was this competition where they went to a flea market and sold shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Are we watching the back half of Mallrats?
Well, basically, so half the show is, at least in the first episode, is that they're like, oh, we got to clear all the stuff out of the store. So it's sort of like some people buying stuff, some people selling stuff, and then this. And it just seemed kind of, the whole thing just seemed kind of just like not interesting.
It was understandable. It was boring, and it was sad to see that Walt Flanagan was picking on the little Asian guy. What was even worse to watch was that Asian guy was a loser. I was like, he wouldn't even stand up for himself. I was like, come on, man.
Well, I mean, someone did say, because I don't listen to this podcast, but I guess they're obviously on it every week, and it's kind of a long-running tradition. This is sort of so if you listen to the podcast, if you watch his stuff, then you know that this is sort of the character that he is.
Yeah.
But still, just watching it without knowing
it was a little sad. It was a little sad. What I don't like about the show is, I mean, you guys know I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. I loved his writing. I love his movies. I like the guy. I think he's funny as hell. This seems more like Kevin putting his name on something for his friends to become famous, and I don't think I like it. I mean, Walt was kind of funny sometimes, but the show was boring as hell, and I don't think it does anything for the comic book community.
No,
it doesn't make us
off like annoying and condescending and dirty.
Which is the problem, right? This is kind of like what is bad. This is kind of what they're talking about us, anyways, right?
Right.
So why do you go out there and reinforce exactly what the people think of us to begin with? Go, yeah, that's true. Look at all these crazy people that are coming in, not the normal people that exist.
Right.
But look, there's all these nutty people. Just steer the public, eye into even more into that angle. It's like.
Well, I mean, how generic is it to start off a conversation like, what's the hottest comic book
I thought that was so lame.
Like what a cliched.
Yeah, but, it made that whole community look like a bunch of losers again.
Yeah.
The thing is it does. I think it's playing to stereotypes. I mean, I haven't seen it, but from what you've said and what I've heard, it's playing to stereotypes.
Right.
And it's reinforcing, kind of a negative stereotype. And the funny comment was made to us that we should film us at the comic book store and put that on TV instead of Comic Book Man. But the thing is, I mean, it's partially right. I mean, you get people in here on a Wednesday, there's people hanging out, talking, having conversations, and it's not like it's who's the hottest babe. It's, you know, real, actual fucking conversations like history lessons and
I mean, on Wednesdays I'll run the gamut from politics to sports. Well, not me specifically in sports so much, but you know, it's there. You know, to history, to, you know, like we had a whole conversation about like, what the hell were we talking about last Wednesday? We got in this big conversation about World War II, and it was like the history of motorcycles through World War I or World War II. Like, I don't even know how we ended up on the subject. You know, I mean, we'll talk comic books. We'll talk a lot of the stuff we talk on the podcast. I mean, I'll be talking with the customers about, you know, news stuff that's coming up. Not the kind of dumb shit they were talking about.
No, it was really just, I don't know. I almost want the thing you say about Big Bang Theory is kind of how I feel about the show right now. Yeah. It's like what you dislike is exactly how I feel about Comic Book Man. Yeah, and it's really kind of sad.
Yeah.
Oh, he hates it because they just lost.
Oh, yeah. Big Bang Theory is now officially on the shit list forever because they talk shit about Lost. So now it's over.
Oh, like it wasn't over to begin with.
Oh, it was close, but now it's over.
It was close. Now he says it was close.
There was a chance. There was maybe a glimmer.
Sure. No, there wasn't.
Now it's gone.
No, there wasn't. There was no shot that you're going to like that.
Yeah, so, I mean, if it's only 6 episodes, I mean, I'll at least give the second episode a shot that recorded last night. But
yeah,
if it's as bad, I don't know that I even want to. I don't even want to.
I don't like the owner. I don't like the guy that runs it.
Yeah,
the big bearded guy is kind of funny. Like I liked when it showed like he doesn't do anything, like he just hangs out.
You know what's so funny too? Because I mean, I've seen so many guys like that at shops, and it's like, that's kind of not a stereotype you want to enforce.
No,
just the hanger on, because you get a lot of.
Well,
that.
he was the only thing that was amusing about the whole show. I thought everything else was sad. I didn't like the owner. Actually, no, I take it back. The one dude that knew that poster. Yeah. They should make a show about him.
Like that guy was kind of that weird sleazy guy.
Yeah, dude, it was like sleazy. Like he was like, "Oh, this is the wrong year. This is the wrong country." Blah blah blah. And then he went and bought everything from Ming at the end at the flea market. He started cleaning before he was like $20, and he starts cleaning it up already. He already knew he was gonna win. I was like, man, he's far more interesting than any of those guys.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of a dick, but
he is totally.
But at least it's interesting.
Yeah, he's a dick, but he does something at least. You know, he's not whining and doing other stuff.
I mean, I've never seen Pawn Stars or any of those shows, so I don't know.
I've watched them. I mean, Pawn Stars has they're very knowledgeable about all this shit, but it's like you're knowledgeable because you know what's coming in and you have a research assistant. I mean, you can know about certain things, but you can't know about that much stuff.
Right.
So it's one of those things where it's like, you know, and they're like, "Oh, we called in a specialist." I'm like, "Yeah, you called a specialist before, and they told you what to say."
Yeah,
you know. But with Comic Book Man, it's like, you know, if you're going to show what a comic book store, what we all want a comic book store to be, and that's a meeting up place where we get stuff, we talk about things.
But it's also Kevin Smith. I mean, you have to go in expecting Kevin Smith's name and brand and humor attached to the show, and you know. I mean, the store in LA closed, you know.
Didn't it reopen, though? I thought it reopened.
Oh, did it?
I thought so, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe, I mean...
I never met him. I don't
know that he has anything to do with the shop, really. I mean, probably very little, so, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to think that. I mean, I hope it turns around, but boy, that was a bad
Well, at this point,
start.
I mean, they've already shot and it's done.
It's too late to turn anything around, but just the way they started this whole series, it's just like...
I just don't think we'll see a second season.
Yeah, no, first of all, there's no second season. Was like, come on, man. It's like, you seriously going to do that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess I'll report back next week if I get through that second episode. And, I mean, maybe I'll check out the last episode and see what they kind of do if they come back. But, I don't know.
Hey, if it's 6 episodes, just stomach through it, man.
I got so much other
just
crap
stomach
to watch.
through it.
It is like watching a worse version of the story itself. It's like...
It's like watching all the of those.
Yeah, well, because I could just come down here and have these conversations.
I was like, this is what we lived through, you know. It's like, you know, the crazy Chucky lady is the alien head moron.
We get that. We get that all the time. I mean, you get those guys that come in. Oh yeah, I really love this person, or I really love this chick. She's so hot, and you're like,
I really don't.
You don't get the weirdos then.
I really don't.
You attract them.
I
Rocky.
attract them.
You
I attract the
them.
weirdos.
And I say this, there's, we get some guys to come in.
We got some interesting guys. Let's put it that way.
Sure. But overall, the large majority are very nice, very normal people.
Yeah.
Almost, without exception. And so this sort of weird stereotype that of these freaks on the show just are not
I just think
accurate
it's just
at all.
put so much more negativity on the whole community as ours that it's like, why is this out there? I mean,
Right.
what are you doing to us?
Right.
And for me, it's like, come on, Kevin, you should know better. I mean,
Right.
you're supposed to be one of us, not the other way around, not the guy pointing finger at us. You're supposed to be one of us standing up for it.
Right.
Instead, he's like making fun of us and go, haha, look, we're weird. Yeah.
All right. We haven't done random picks for a while.
Yeah, we haven't done random
totally
picks in like
random.
3 weeks.
You guys, you ready for some random picks? Because I'm sure as hell not. I got nothing.
No shit.
I'll go first.
You got
All right.
something?
I highly recommend Robert Kirkman and Nick Spencer's Thief of Thieves. Really, really good first issue.
Image book, yeah.
Image book.
I didn't get a chance to read it yet. Sold out. Sold
really,
out
really-
before I even got a chance to read.
Really, really good read. Very quick. I mean, it's a quick read, but very just. You get there, you know that these characters are introduced, and you want to read the next issue.
Cool.
So very, very engaging, so to speak. So that's my random comic pick. There's not much. I mean, I can't really say much. I mean, the art's pretty cool on it, and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So
Yeah.
what-
Spider-Man one right there, the big one, hardcover. Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. Everybody is going to be in for a big ass surprise. One of my favorite books, and I kid you not, I'm not joking about this. I'm not trolling, whatever you guys call it on the forum. I'm not joking about this. One of my favorite books is Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane, and I'm not joking.
No, I know tons of people who love that book.
Ali Garza said it was his favorite book, and
Sean McKeever, right?
yes,
Writing? Yeah.
He's fantastic on this book. It's, this is a book you look at and go, "There's no way I should like this," but when you read it, you're gonna love it.
wasn't there some couple that the guy proposed to his girlfriend, kind of using that book?
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought I saw something.
But
on
it
that a
is
while
it
ago.
is a Mary Jane book basically. It's a Mary Jane in high school book, but
okay.
it's written really, really well. It's like the Mary Jane perspective of when Spider-Man started. Like, Spider-Man's around at school and she knows Peter and stuff like that. But it's more like her perspective of things.
Oh, nice.
And it's really, really well written. And I have both of the hardcovers, and I highly recommend them. I know it looks like it's for little teenage girls, but and it might be hard.
You want to be a little
and it might be hard for you to go to the counter and buy it like a man. But trust me, if you do, it's really a really good read.
If you don't want to go to a comic book store, you can always mail order it from us.
Yeah, and we have both copies. We have
sending it to you.
with both copies in stock. And like I said, there's a lot of people like this book.
Yeah, no, Spider-Man. Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane is one of those books that I wish found that outside the normal comic audience.
Yeah,
because it probably would do really well if it could find its way.
I think a
more
lot of the
mainstream
indie
market.
guys would have loved this book because
Yeah.
it's not a straight up superhero book, but it has some of it in there.
and younger kids as well.
Yeah,
and especially
absolutely.
like a female readership, and not your typical mainstream
Yeah.
comic readers.
And it's written really well. You really do care for these characters, and it's well done.
Yeah. My pick this week is something I was very happy to see come out in trade a little while ago. It's the complete Chase collection from DC Comics, written by Dan Johnson, who's actually local here, as well as art by J.H. Williams, who's now on the fabulous Batwoman title. This is I don't remember what J.H. Williams' first work is, but this is early. I mean, this is like 98.
Yeah.
So this is early work for J.H. Williams.
I just finished reading that like a week or so ago.
So Chase is about Agent Cameron Chase, who works for the Department of Extra Normal Operations. If anyone was reading DC Comics in the late 80s, or in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a lot of these one-shot backup features that would appear in all the Secret Origin books with Chase and Director Bones. He's the guy from the...
Is that like Nick Fury showing up in all the Marvel movies at the end?
Yeah, kind of.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Bones was like an old Infinity Inc. bad guy, and
He
now
came into play with the Manhunter.
yeah, I can't remember when he first appeared, but They brought him in. Because so this the DEO was sort of this new kind of like the paranormal FBI sort of X-Files-y type thing for the DC universe. And Chase, she first appeared in an issue of Batman and went on. And this book is one of my favorite weird, obscure DC books from the 90s that, you have all of these like Hitman and Vexed and Major Bummer and Chase. And there's a ton of these books that came out that just never kept an audience, but super fun. Some great cameos of just really weird people.
I just flipped through.
Characters.
I saw like Batman and stuff. And some other guys. It looks really cool.
Well, I didn't even know there was that many Clay faces until I read this.
Yeah. Well, what's great about this too is that it's sort of like it just goes. It just brings a cool element to the DC universe, like Checkmate, like some of these other departments, these government departments that sort of track the superheroes. Chase also appeared in Manhunter in the Mark Andreyko series. She also appeared in Batwoman more recently. So she's still around. And they've used her, in the Batwoman series. I think was she in 52? Was she with Batwoman in the 52 series?
She might have.
Oh no,
She might
I
have
can't
been.
remember. But yeah, no, this is
now
great little book, and this is everything. This is all the original stuff.
That's
This is the whole
awesome.
series. So
Wait,
No,
isn't she in Batwoman now?
yeah, she's a Batwoman now.
Okay,
yeah.
Now, as a guy that has never read this, I just flipping through it. It reminds me a lot of 100 Bullets. Am I correct in that statement?
I mean,
Like
I
100
would say
Bullets
more-
of superheroes?
I would say more
No?
Gotham Central.
that's
Oh,
exactly
okay.
what I was going to say.
Cool.
This is this seems like a precursor to the idea of
Gotham Central was cool.
Yeah,
That was a really
where
cool book. Yeah.
it's the superhero world told from sort of the not superhero perspective.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, highly recommended. 30
Awesome.
Bones, no pun intended. Check this guy out. This is a good book. And man, I hope this is one of those things. DC's been, Marvel's obviously never keeps their shit in print. DC's dropping some of their pre-New 52 books. This just came out, but I wouldn't bet that this is going to be on the shelf forever.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah,
pick this
actually,
up.
I've been making my lists now. Like,
Yeah.
some of the stuff I wanted that's been on my list are out of print at this point. I'm like a little worried.
I just found out the Starman omnibus hardcovers are going out of print.
Oh,
so
man.
the only one that's, I believe, out of print right now is number 1.
Yeah.
So I just ordered a stack of those. Spider-Man Clone Wars. Have you seen
Clone
Volume 1 on the Clone Saga?
Yeah.
Volume 1 on eBay is like $600.
Jesus.
Or Amazon's like $600.
we got all the other ones here on the shelf.
One's the only volume, but I tell you what, they're
That's
not-
retarded, though. It's like, who would buy the rest of them if they don't put the first one back in print?
The Spider-Man Clone Saga has been one of the most requested trade paperbacks forever, and they finally did it, and it's like one print and gone. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
it's, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few books I've been wanting to really, really have.
We've talked about this a few times on the podcast. Some of these trades, don't wait.
Yeah.
They're not going to stick around for long, especially as the digital thing gets bigger and bigger. These trades are not long for the shelf.
I like what DC's been doing. Like, DC, their trades have been doing better than Marvel, but like the Catwoman stuff, they went back and said, okay, we're going to redo it.
Yeah,
But-
they are. They're redoing like the Ed Brubaker Catwoman stuff, but I
But it's
guarantee
how
you.
far are they going to go? And it's
They'll do it all, but I don't think it's going to stay in print once and done.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess. A lot of this stuff we'll do one run, profit, done. Couple years, maybe we'll do it again, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
Yeah. Like
I mean,
Ryan
we don't
said
even
once.
have Volume 2 of Justice League available right now for the Grant Morrison Justice League. They did like the first volume in softcover and kind of haven't finished it, and so like all this stuff's out of print.
It's frustrating.
Yeah,
It's like Ryan said before. It's like the trades are the new single issues.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
it feels
it's-
like that.
It's really hard to kind of talk about these things and get people interested in these things. When, bringing them into stores and getting them, the book in their hands because they want the digital market because it's easy. They don't have to worry about printing that shit.
Right.
But it's one of those things where it's like you're a print media. Okay, cool. You print it and it goes away. But give it time to actually
Breathe.
because Clone Saga just started coming out over the summer.
I mean, it's been coming out for maybe about a year ago.
Yeah.
It started.
So it's like you give it a year and then you cut it. To me that's a little ridiculous. Give
Well,
it at least.
I think to do one printing and that's it.
Well, no, that's fine, but give it like that time to
Sure.
because that's a huge chunk of
Well,
money.
what probably happened is they didn't think they were going to sell that many, and they just sold out, and they're not going to reprint it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I feel what happened.
But here I am going to be sitting here with volumes 2 through 6 for $40 a pop, dying on our shelf.
Yeah.
No one's going to buy them if you can't buy volume 1.
Or if you have to spend $600 to get volume 1.
I wonder if you could take those apart and bind them yourself.
Sure. Oh, take the trades apart?
Could you?
You'd lose so much of the gutter, that
will
thing in the
you?
middle, because they're already cut.
Because I told you, man, I'm so tempted to pick up these Iron Man books, the Armor Wars and the Prelude, which is that run of that creative team. It's my favorite run.
Yeah.
I'm so torn of picking up the original books and buying those, or if I'm just going to pick up these 2 trades, I have better paper.
Yeah.
That better paper, better printing on it. So I'm really, really torn on it.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of binding, I'm almost ready to bind that Outsiders run.
I heard. You're going to have to bring it in.
I will bring it in, but I actually need...
That means I'm the
might
only
need
one
2
left.
issues
Oh, really?
of Deathstroke 49 and 50.
eBay, baby.
I know. I'm going to look at if anyone find them in a quarter bin.
MyComicShop.com.
But I'm actually going to... I'm heading out to San Antonio Wednesday. I'm going to check out a couple shops out there, so...
Okay, so Brock will not be on next week's episode, so
this is
we'll
where-
have a big party without him.
Yeah,
but-
I won't be here either, so Ryan, you're going to be doing a podcast by yourself, talking to yourself.
Man, that sucks. You're going to be wanking it by yourself.
No, I'm kidding. I'll be here.
We'll find someone else.
I got
to
you
come in,
back.
so. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. It's been clocking over our normal time. Yeah, I think that's it.
You can visit us at www.comicsconspiracy.biz.
That's the store site. You can go to geekbox.net. That's where this podcast is hosted and all the other podcasts, like the Comic Conspiracy. Oh, we are the Comic Conspiracy. like the Geek Box or the Comedy Button. The Comedy Button is what I meant to say.
Awesome.
You can go to conspiratorBrock.com. That's Brock's website, and read his blog.
Yeah, there is a page for the list of the new 52
Trades.
trade released months, not dates.
Yeah.
Those
shift around too, so don't
Yeah.
hold those dates. Don't hold those months too specific. But DC is going to try to get. I believe they're aiming for like 6 a month. Is kind of what.
Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
right. 6 a month. A couple of them are hardcover. I'll try and list which ones are.
Yeah.
I know Batman, Wonder Woman,
Justice
League, and
Detective. I think
Detective,
Green Lantern is.
and Green Lantern.
The big ones are all hardcover.
Big ones are probably all hardcover. Surprisingly enough, Swamp Thing and Animal Man, no.
It's fine with me.
So.
Animal Man tied for Justice League for the book I ordered the most of so far. So I'm gonna pimp that Animal Man trade so hard.
Pimp it.
It's so good.
Pimp it.
Yeah, what else? You can go on forums.geekbox.net. That's where you can talk to us in the comic forum or any of the other forums. You can follow us on Twitter, Ryan Higgins Ryan, Brock Sager, Toby XI. Charlie, who's not here this week, is Insanity in Chaos. You can follow him in the what the hell's this podcast called?
Infinite Long
In-
Box.
The Infinite Long Box.
No,
down
it's
there,
no.
too.
We need to start saying it right. The Infinite Long Box.
And not
Thanks.
much digital comic news. I remember for weeks on end it was like digital. It's kind of been quiet. They're doing their sales
They're
and
doing
stuff.
their
so.
sales. They stay on that. If you're into digital comics, stay on those sales because follow Comixology on Twitter. They have these random little sales every so often, and you might not know that. Oh, there's a little image sale going on, or they're selling Batman this through this.
Yeah, you can pick them up from us at digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. No Dark Horse, no Marvel still. We keep hoping it's going to happen.
It will.
Bug Marvel, bug Dark Horse. Tell them you want to be able to buy them through us.
Yes.
Bug Comixology and say, hey, where's our iPad-friendly HTML5 version of the website? They're working on it for retailers. It's supposed to be coming. So for all of you that want to wait, you're going to keep waiting, but it's coming. Marvel and Dark Horse, hopefully it's coming. They got that. Diamond has their own digital comic thing that's coming out, but it's like we sell them. It's a weird thing. We'll talk about that at some point. I don't know what the deal with that is, so we'll figure out what's up with that.
Why can't we just have one central location? And why can't this shit go onto multiple platforms?
Guys, don't talk to me, man.
What?
It's all about exclusivity.
Yeah, but who?
It's what makes the money.
Hey, are we getting a free comic book day Comics Conspiracy cover?
No.
Maybe? No? Okay.
We have to order like five.
Oh, like
dozen
way
of
too
them.
much?
Yeah,
That's too bad. I was really looking
And it's
forward
not
to
even
that.
like a cover. It's just like a little ad thing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's not like we
that's
get
too
the
bad. I was
exclusive-
looking forward to that.
If it was an exclusive cover, maybe I'd pony up for it. But no, it's just like an ad that
Okay,
goes on
cool.
it. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, and we're just so you guys know, we are not participating in the Super Crooks
What?
contest to get Mark Miller in the shop.
That would be great, though. Get him on the podcast and berate him for an hour and a half. All right, we're out of here. We'll be back next week. We'll miss Brock, but we won't really.
I know you won't really. And the listen, you know what? You'll probably see all your listener downloads go.
Listeners just going to drop.
Yeah,
no one's going to. It goes up like 500% now that you're not on it. So, just kidding. We'll miss you, Brock. We'll see when you get back.
I know. I'll be back.
Have fun.
All right, we'll talk to everyone next week.